a quick introduction from everyone. Maybe Melina can start.
Hello, well, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm super happy to share this time and conversation with all of you and our audience. I am Melina Angel from Colombia, and I have been working with regeneration in territories, bioregioning processes, and from the living beings perspective, living systems perspective, I am biomimicry professional and specialist for applying the logic of nature to social systems. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Melina. Juan Jose, do you want to go?
Hi everyone. Hi Andrea. Thank you for the invitation and the conversation that we are going to have. My name is Juan. I'm the BI and data manager at Free Collective. I know that there are some differences between the experience that, for example, Melina has and me, because I'm actually at the backstage of the regenerative process. But it's been really beautiful understand how does the nature works and be aware about how the regenerative process can really create abundance, right? So that's about a little about my experience.
Thank you, Juan. Also, don't forget to share where are you from. I know Melina and Juan are from Colombia. Stephanie, go ahead, please.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm originally from Belize and I currently live in Miami. I'm super excited to be part of this panel. Anything that we can do to help improve thriving communities is something that I am 100% behind.
Thank you, Stephanie. Ruben?
Hi, everyone, and hi, Andrea, for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm from Argentina, where I still live in Buenos Aires, and I'm the co-founder of Antom. That is an investment firm that invests into early stage startups that working in regeneration in the areas of agriculture, food, and land use. And besides our investment work, we also do a very active work in the development of the climate tech community in Argentina and Latin America in general.
Thank you so much, Ruben. Boris?
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name is Boris. I'm from Colombia, and I'm the founder of Launchmoon. We are a data-first infrastructure that builds and guides communities across Latin America in order for them to verify and activate their data. We imagine a place where data can actually be executed and every stakeholder can actually be connected. So it's a pleasure to be here. Happy to have a great discussion with you.
Thank you, Boris. Viviana?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Andre, for the invitation. I am proud to be part of this group of panelists, and even more so when we talk about sustainability. I am Viviana Rondon. I work at the Los Andes University. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I work at the Center of Entrepreneurship with many startups or entrepreneurs and projects about social innovation, sustainability, deep tech, health tech, and many topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivi. Charlotte? Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm maybe the furthest away. I am Charlotte Kemp. I'm in Cape Town, South Africa. But I work a lot with my futurist colleagues in South America and Latin America, where we're exploring how futures plans need to be very contextual and not just imported from other parts of the world. So I'm very interested to join the conversation and learn from you and share some of my experience as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Orestes?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me at this roundtable discussion. My name is Orestes Spirou. I come from Greece. I am located in the Netherlands. at this moment. I'm the CEO and founder of a company called DigiFastverse. We are targeting digital transformation across a variety of sectors, from agriculture, healthcare, education, arts, and also currently we're exploring the domain of biotech. And my background is in biosystems engineering and mechanical engineering, and I have done my research this years towards the regenerative agriculture and how we can incorporate sustainable farming practices and digital technologies for the scope of eliminating the problems that they are already in the supply chain.
Awesome. Thank you, Orestes. Simeone?
So thank you for the invitation, and really namaste, everyone. I'm a neuroaesthetic artist, an immersive director, and a somatic facilitator. My work lives at the intersection of ancestral wisdom, systemic design, and emerging technologies. I explore how our nervous systems, our ecosystems, and our cultural systems mirror one another, and how immersive and neurofeedback tools can help us restore that coherence. From an embodied lens, I often begin by saying there's no regeneration without regulation. So I'd like to offer everyone a piece of the most advanced piece of technology we can have, that is one exhale and one big inhale together, if you allow me to do so. So the invitation is to just let it go. And then with your next inhalation, intake all the energy of the moment of being together in this circle. I hope.
Thank you so much, Eno. Finally, I want to share to you my role here at Gatherverse. I kind of co-created this panel with you guys, and I was able to select the panelists and the questions, so I'm very, very happy to be able to guide this conversation. I'm also founder of Refi Collective. It's our company in Colombia, where we design regenerative business models and human systems in order to accelerate transitions in Latin America. Okay, so let's start with our first question. This will be guided to Melina and Ruben. What does regeneration mean to you in your field of work, and how can we embed life principles into the systems we design? Whoever
Melina,
wants.
you want to start?
Okay, well, what's regeneration? It's a biological process. Is the mindset of becoming part of the biosphere, becoming part of the living being we are in, and understanding that that's the base for evolution in these transition times. So for me, it's like the base of how we can embed life into everything we do. So to regenerate vitality, the lost vitality we have been passing through many centuries, let's say, if not millennia. And what we want to bring back is this ability of letting life passing through us. And that, I think that's the most important part of all. And from the perspective of the tropics, and I am not talking about the south of the global south and this kind of political divisions. I think that we need to talk about tropics and temperates and poles, because the energy of these parts of the world, we are more in contact with the sphere we inhabit. So when we talk about the tropics, we are talking about huge diversity. cultural and biological. And what we need to bring from life is all the knowledge that these collaborative processes of huge amount of relationships that is the base of life on earth. We need to tap into that and understand that this is the base for life, and to recover the capacity of living in these complex relationships of many diversity, and not will really give us the possibility to regenerate us personally, and the organizations and the systems we live in and with. So for me, regeneration starts from the inside out, because we cannot pretend to regenerate life outside if our own life is not in harmony. And then to vibrate, like to emanate these frequencies of harmony with life, because life itself will give us the knowledge, the assertment, the assessment, the right thinking, the right creative thinking, and feeling to connect with this planetary evolution we are in. So that's my perspective for you all.
I think I share very much what Melina said. So just to probably I will put it in other words that are the ones that we normally use. That it's I think regeneration is related to health, and to health at different layers. So one layer, and it's the one that we work with most from Anthem. It's let's say a environmental layer. So, and we understand that the regeneration is leaving things healthier than they were when you start working on them. So a regeneration project in that terms is to have projects that try to make a positive impact in the environment. Normally that's very linked to other layers of health that are health in the society, to have a fair and society, and also and in the end everything is related to what Melina said in the end, that it's to its person health, to one own's health. So so regeneration also not sure whether it starts, but must come from inside. So and in our way we actually start from these regeneration projects that normally work mostly with the environment at a productive level. And to finalize, I also take one of I like the definition of regeneration, that is to putting life at the center. So I think that kind of summarizes it all.
Thank you both for these beautiful definitions. I completely agree, and I feel your words. And sometimes we also kind of forgot that we are also nature ourselves, and our human cells are continuously regenerating as well. So starting from that insight and that self-consciousness, like if I'm able to regenerate myself and understand that process and feel that process, then I can also share it, right? And apply it to my projects and my work. So thank you so much. Let's go to our next question. What gives you hope about the intersection of humanity and technology? And how can we ensure that innovation truly serves life on Earth? So this question it goes to Charlotte and Viviana.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Andre. I think what gives me most hope about the intersection of humanity and technology is our ability as a species to use our tools, not just to survive, but to care, to help, inclusive, and to connect. Through history, technology has been an station of our creativity, our compassion. For vaccines, for example, like pandemic, is a combination with technology and biological technology that saved millions lives on the world. Or other example is the internet, our cell phones, or in fact many equipment that allow people to communicate with others in seconds, in anywhere in the world. Today, we're witnessing innovations that could radically transform our relationship with the planet and with each other. Clean technologies like solar and white energy and carbon capture are helping to mitigate the climate change. Artificial intelligence, when we use the responsible, is being used to protect dangerous species, support sustainable agriculture, and predict natural disaster in some cases. And the other use that we can use the artificial intelligence. Biotechnology is important because it's enabling us to cure previously untreatable disease and improve food security. In Colombia, we have, I know, many projects and startups that works in his laboratories with medicinal plants to cure health the persons or people. Sorry. Digital education is democratizing access to knowledge, even in the most remote areas. These questions have two questions in the same questions. No? The second part of this question is how can we ensure innovation through the server's life on the Earth? I think that we have some key principles. One is ethic by designs. I think that embed ethical principles from the very beginning of technological development, considering social, environmental, cultural impulse or behaviors of people, include the face, the things importance of sustainability, economical, social, and environmental. Diverse participations. I think that is important in both diverse communities in the creation and evaluation of technologies, especially those historical marginalized, the population of poverty, for example. Critical education is other thing that is important. Foster an informed public that can question, understand, and participate in technological decisions. I think two is responsible educations, develop legal frameworks that encourage innovation with protect human rights. I think that is important, underlined that innovation, we have to fail in love with the problem, know the solution.
Thank you so much, Vivi. Charlotte, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like with technology, there's an assumption that any of the problems we have in the world can just be solved by somebody's technology. And if you look around the world at the different problems and issues that we have, we do find that there are technologies around or systems to actually deal with all of that. So every problem we have, there is actually a response to it. But we haven't really synchronized that. We haven't been able to tap into what is available. And that's because technology is an amplifier. It's going to make louder whatever is at the foundation of what we're doing. So we need conversations exactly like we're having now, where we have this philosophical reflection about what kind of a system do we want, what kind of a world do we want, and then we can be guided, that the technology can be guided by that wisdom. So we can use technology to scale empathy instead of scaling exploitation, which is what we're seeing far too much technology being used for. It seems in a lot of conversations we have, people are trying to work out how to serve the technology. How do we How do we write for the algorithm? How do we respond to artificial intelligence? We're not supposed to be responding to the technology. The technology is supposed to be serving us to achieve what it is at the foundation of what we're trying to achieve. But people get it the wrong way around because we're moving too fast and we're just trying to keep up rather than defining what kind of world we need to have in. So we need to understand, who benefits from the technology we're using? What kind of a future are we designing with this technology? Or how can we put some things aside to use the technology that will actually help us design the future that we want to be in? That's the response. I'll give you one quick example. In Africa, there is a platform called M-Pesa. It's a mobile-based financial services system, but not run on smartphones like iPhones or anything like that. It's based on old-fashioned text phones. So people can text financial transactions. And what that means is that people have been able to use that technology to access banking, which a huge portion of the entire continent of Africa have not had access to, but now they can access banking, they can access savings, investments, they can pay school fees, they can send money back home, all through this text-based technology, because that technology was used to serve them rather than just investing their time and intelligence on making somebody's app deliver their pizza faster. The actual intention was to serve people, not just to serve profits.
Amazing. That's a great example. Can you spell the name of that company, please, Charlotte?
It's M-Pesa, so M-P-E-S-A, and there's a little dash between the M and the P, M-Pesa. It was started in Kenya as part of one of the cell phone companies, but a tech service that they offered from that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, you both, for your answers. It's really, really important to, have in mind that these technologies we are creating, it's kind of, we create them and they also interact with us and creates like a feedback loop, right? So the more we design human-centered and life-centered technologies, the more we are going to also improve our values, this redistribution of finance, for instance, like the example you mentioned. So I think these are great. This is a great conversation. Let's continue to our next question. In what ways can immersive, artistic, or spiritual experiences help reconnect humanity with the intelligence of nature and foster collective well-being? This question is for Simeone.
Thank you. Where to start? I'd like to touch on everything that's been said and nailed down into this. Everything we said is about meaning making sense of a vision, but that cannot be actually received by any humans unless we have capacity in our nervous system. No vision can truly land unless the body and the collective feel safe, to stay with it. So that's something I really wanted to say, and together with language. Lakoff said something very beautiful about metaphors not being decorative, but being the architecture of life and culture. So until we continue using words that scaling up, moving forward, rising above, all of those continue to perpetuate extractive postures. And therefore, the technologies will always be reflecting and mirroring those postures. So I'd like to talk about grounding. I'd like to talk about spiraling, like replacing here and there some, like going up with rooting, pushing with pulsing, growth with grounding. And so from that perspective, certain technologies can bring well-being for several reasons. One is because the collective rituals were the ancient technologies. So we have it also in our ancestral memories to do certain things that, for instance, bring a lot of serotonin through the vagus nerve to the 5-HT2A receptors. We have it. We have it in plant medicine, and that's something similar happening to our brains when we, for instance, connect via immersive technologies like VR, right? Or AR and other technologies that are able to sort of fine-tune the brain with new scenarios. I like what Baudrillard said, a simulation is just as valuable as the value that people attach to it. So we can use it not to create a dystopic reality, but a hyper reality that can be conducive to well-being. But something that is really and equally important from my perspective to bring in the discourse about art and healing, art is our homeostasis. Our brain is a constant predictive and creative machine, right? So we thrive in art because creativity is the most advanced form of hope, because hope is tuning into something that we either have forgotten and don't remember, or we think it's bringing in something that wasn't there. I was about to use the word innovating, and no, bringing in something that wasn't there yet. So, but the reason why I think technology and art can really bring healing is when you don't try and use it to extract, but you try and make people's emotions and contributions the real content of the experience. When you allow through technology to go from empathy to compassion. I like what Brené Brown says in one of her talks. She goes, empathy is when somebody's down the pit and you go, oh, I'm sorry, I'd love to help you. Compassion is, here's my hand. So technology from that perspective can be that hand. But for that to happen, the spaces, at least this is my humble perspective on it, the spaces need to reflect this idea that biofeedback is bringing you into your inner world. It's not a gimmick to just show you that some fancy data on a screen. So when that happens, and when the language is aligned, and when these experiences are created with the idea of creating capacity. So create capacity in the nervous system means slowing down, allow people the time to reflect and take a pause and discard what doesn't want to be held for a moment, and allow people to say, I'm fine with this. And also making people move across liminal spaces where silence is also part of the experience. I feel that from that perspective, technology can rewire, our brains and the collective brain, truly creating new synapses for pulsing new life into what we do, like to work with life, not even for life, and the last aspect of how spiritual experiences do that is because we tend to anthropomorphize everything. But when you are in a plant medicine experience, you are transcending the self in amazing ways, neuroscientifically speaking. And the most sticky thing is that you experience the ineffable, the ineffability of being one, that cannot be expressed through words, but can only be a lived experience. Yeah.
Thank you so much, love these words, and knowing your work with creating this VR experience and simulation through your spiritual experiences. I think it's an amazing way to reconnect that part of our spirituality and technology to create like a new kind of future, and to reimagine how we can co-create with each other these futures, not only one but many futures, right? Does anyone want to answer this question, or should we move on to the next?
I think I can have like a small addition, like a very fast one. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for your answers also, like they're really inspiring. And also, Simeon, thank you very much for the embodiment exercise in the beginning, so we can have our common tune all together. I think that as an artist, also an entrepreneur, I'm a music producer and also a painter myself. I have also found ways to connect art and science, and also finding my inner self through my constant reflection, self-reflection via my artistic talents and abilities of my, let's say, higher self. And I think that they can help a lot by bringing via this embodiment transfer of your soul into that virtual environment can have many applicabilities for a cross variety of sectors, from healthcare, but also for education, either it's spiritual education with embodiment exercises, or education that has different type of forms. They can collect by having these experiences. I think we can combine the intelligence of nature by capturing also the nature and the sounds of nature via disruptive devices that they can make acoustically the frequencies of and the vibrations of the electrical vibrations of plants itself. So I think that creative boundaries are limitless.
Thank you so much, Orestes. Actually, I had this question for you next. So if you want to just jump in. So food culture and community are deeply interconnected. How might we reimagine our food systems as tools for healing, regeneration, and social transformation?
All right. So I am located in the city of Wageningen, where is the center of food and culture, because the city has a world famous agricultural university, and I get experienced food and cultural input from all the sides of the globe. We can reimagine our food systems more human-centric, and with the creative tools that we have in our under our usage, we can promote the indicators of healing, regeneration, and social transformation by redesigning systems, either they are biosystems or social systems or food systems themselves. I don't know if someone wants to add also something on that, because I would like to also have shared input on that question.
What I can say here is, again, going into the systems of things. I feel that in the reality as we are living it and not living it through us, food has become some sort of commodity factor, which is not. And so I'd really like to go back to the idea that food is a ritual and life is a ritual, and a celebration of our health is the celebration of connection with nature. So until we do not remember that to be the case, and we see everything we do around it as not necessarily building a value chain, but truly reconnecting with the earth through food, and naming things properly. I feel that the way will be still long with or without technology. So what we can do is to be considering food as part of our ceremony of reconnection. And so these big movements of food at that point will become smaller movements of food, and we will be looking for local food because a relationship with that will be developed. But last but not least, there's something I am very much and very often encountered with. We need to remind people the importance of food itself. So I know it might sound simplistic, but food is not something to chuck down. It's a process, it's a very intricate process which the body goes through when a relationship with food needs to be completed. So whenever you ingest something, that's not limited to food, but there is a model behind it that is either extractive or integrative, right? So when people eat, my recommendation is that we consider that the food is making light life a way through you, and it's a process that starts right here, north to south. And so, these things, together with the properties of food and with the story and histories of food, can help us. Like regenerate is a very beautiful word because it contains two very important subwords. Re, it means to do something again. So it's acknowledging that in the ancestral memory of what we do, there's something so valid, we want to repeat it. And generare comes from genus, meaning to give birth. So it's a big responsibility of giving birth to something that has been, again. So that all of that is also food. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like the point is that whatever we listen and say is food we ingest and we feed to others. So I feel those systems will inevitably reflect this big cultural and somatic change. The word is, although being only vibration, is also something very physical. So yeah, I'll stop here because I want to listen to other people's opinions. But yeah.
So I would like to add something about the food, Larita. And first, I love Simeone's comments about the importance of the wording. So I probably have to put far more reflection on the word that I will be using. But currently, most of the world's food is produced through monocultures and an intensive use of chemicals. So I think that when we reimagine what the regenerative food system means, it means using far more ecological knowledge and far more biodiversity in food production rather than only having massive amounts of land producing one single monoculture. And that will be very much related also to personal health, because currently, there are huge health problems because of the way and the intensive use of chemicals that we use when producing foods. So when we also think about how we reimagine the food systems and how they can be used as a tool for regeneration, when we think of these things, we think that if we transform our food system to be based in biodiversity, they will be both regenerative for the environment and much healthier for ourselves.
Definitely. Thank you for your wise words, all you three. This next question is for Juan Jose and Stephanie. Sorry, I kept you waiting for the end. But in your experience, how can storytelling and communication shift collective mindsets from scarcity to abundance, helping communities and organizations embrace reciprocity? No, it's
Thank, thank you for allowing me to be part of this esteemed panel. I love being on panels like this because as I participate, I also grow in my wisdom. I believe that how we tell a story determines whether we uplift or cause people to go down. So I'll start with the most recent story that I feel embodies this. We're in Ghana. We're working with DevHub Africa, and we're using our AI solution, AgriBoost Buddy, to increase farmer yield. And so the people on the ground are using our tool to supplement, to get information real time. And so somebody comes across a farmer who had burnt his farm down. And so the way they've decided to tell the story is very uplifting. So the farmer burns his farm down, and the team member uses Avatar Buddy, AgriBoost Buddy, to see how to respond. And the buddy responds by saying, being empathetic, sorry to hear that happened, then provides a local quote from Ghana. And then in addition to that, encourages the person not to feel bad about what just happened, but to go and seek others in the community to help and talk about unpacking what just happened, because burning your farm down basically means you're not going to be eaten for whatever period of time. Then the AI took the next step and said around how to make sure you don't burn your farm down, and then reminding the farmer to wait a few weeks because maybe there might be some growth that pops up before you just finish clearing the land. And so when I think about that, right, that communication style is uplifting. Something bad happened, and we acknowledge that something bad happened, but then we moved from sitting in the space of something bad to move into the space of what is possible. And it's when we talk in languages and use things around what is possible is when we really truly tap into the beauty and the power of not just our individual self, but our collective self. And we view the world differently. So one second thing I'll share, and then I think I will have covered the story. So I have two mentees. I have been mentoring them since they were 10 and 13, and they're 26. And one of them last night sends me this video of these two guys that hitchhiked across the US, and I believe they did it this year. So and what they wanted to prove is humanity is still good. The stories that we hear on the news, the stories that are consumed with clickbait, are all humanity is dead. But this was humanity's good. And he says to me, I sent you this because, well, he said, I looked at it because you always see the good in everything, no matter what. And so I wanted to see what other people, how other people process that. And he said, and what it left me with is a reminder that I should get out of my bubble and I should meet new people. And what that is again, right, telling even the worst tragedy in a way that uplifts you really and truly creates the space for people to come from it from a position of abundance and be able to be reciprocal in how you interact. Because now he just shared this video with me that was shared with, and so we're both a little bit more a little bit more enriched. And then I shared it on my LinkedIn post because I felt that it could not be shared even more.
Thank you, Stephanie. Juan, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to do it as fast as I can. I think that it depends because it depends the people who are we talking to, because the beliefs and their daily actions reflects the results of their daily behavior. And when we try to connect people, we have to create a way that two different communities or people, cities, persons, because at the end of the day we are people, how can the message can be like in the same frequency? Because at that point they can feel empathy, as Simon said, about the compassion. So it's really important understand who are we talking to, and if these people want to really talk to, because there are people who don't want to be saved, right? They are happy with their daily lifestyles and it's okay, but we don't have to waste time and energy trying to connect with people who don't want to. I think that the people who are centered and naturalize their abundance and they want to give, not only receive, are the people who are like want to develop something more, you know? So it's really important, like select the group, be empathic too. If they want to create, it's okay. No one is forced to be with be with us. But when we create a relationship based in confidence, in love, in abundance, the stories can be different.
Love it. And I think, and I can speak from each and every one of you, that in this panel we are connected in the way you're talking about, Juan Jose. We are synchronized and kind of willing to accept different perspectives, but also connected from our hearts to embody that meaning of regeneration in our own ways, right? But I think this was an amazing panel. Thank you guys so much for participating. Of course, happy that you connect and meet each other, because it's kind of different friends from around the world meeting together. We missed Boris, that he had to disconnect because he ran out of battery on his phone, but he's also an amazing investor, and in another panel we'll meet him as well. So thank you so much. You're always welcome here at Gatherverse. Really proud that we had the chance to connect and meet and had this amazing conversation, really profound conversation. Thank you, and we will meet again. If anyone wants to say one word to close this space, please share it now.
I'm honored that we have done this and we will continue to do this. The words I want to close by are very simple. Everyone, all the things we said are absolutely right, but everyone speaks the language of nature. Everyone can connect with the way a forest works. Not everyone can connect with the way Mother of Pearl can become a better concrete for the world, but there's a different thing. But that is the language we all have learned ancestrally. And perhaps that's the only moment, that of connecting with nature, where we let go of the perennial and persistent idea of scarcity that is embedded in our brains and bodies since our birth. You know, it seems to be a countdown to death to some extent. So I feel that ionization that happens when we are in nature is a language, is a space, a technology, is a ritual, it's pretty much everything we have. So that going back to it is perhaps the only way that is going to center all of us around the dance and the music and the rhythm of it.
I would say humankind is still positive. No matter what happens, humankind is still positive.
I will say, let's become observers of life.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I will add then that we should take more time for reflection like this one. I call it prophylactic philosophy. So have some philosophical reflection before we implement policies and technology instead of afterwards when something goes wrong. So thank you for the space.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and for your thoughts. We will continue to talk, and our gather was very well.